On the Health Watch tonight, many people diagnosed with cancer suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Researchers in Malaysia looked at almost 500 adults who had been diagnosed with different types of cancer. 1 in 5 had developed PTSD within a few months of their diagnosis, and some of those still had symptoms 4 years later. Dr. Mallika Marshall is here, and I can only imagine this makes things so much worse for these poor people.
I know. So as you can imagine, sometimes it's really shocking to get the news.
Yeah.
And then to undergo certain cancer treatments, that can be traumatic. And then some people live in fear that their cancer is going to come back. Yeah. So, and patients with PTSD, they can have sleep problems, are often flooded with unpleasant thoughts, and they're at increased risk of using substances. And they may not take good care of themselves after that because they don't want to go back to the doctor and to go back to the clinic, because then they're flooded with memories of having their cancer treatment. So it's really important for people who get a cancer diagnosis to be supported so that they can have good mental quality of health as well as physical quality of health.
Yeah, some therapy or something like that.
Exactly, and long term.
Yeah.
Right?
Speaking of therapy, most Americans agree that spanking is sometimes necessary to discipline a child, but there's even more evidence that spanking does not work, and in fact, it may be making matters worse. A new study finds that children who have been spanked by their parents at age 5 are more likely to have worse behavior problems at age 6 and age 8 compared to kids who have never been spanked, and this is no longer surprising, it seems.
No, but there are parents out there who are still spanking. Like you and I are both parents, and
yes,
you know how angry your children can make you, right?
Yes.
But for years, we pediatricians have been warning people not to do it because it does make matters worse. And this was one of the first studies to actually show that the spanking itself and not some characteristic of the parent or the child or the home environment that is making the behavioral problems get worse. And the kids are more likely to argue, they're more likely to fight, they're more likely to have impulsive behaviors. So when in doubt, just don't spank.
When I was little, it was just a threaten with a wooden spoon. That's it. You never actually got it, just the threat of it.
Mine was the belt.
The belt.
Yes.
Lisa, over to you.
Now, the wooden spoon reigned in our house as well. Got us right in line.